the founding fathers, the love of the land is something buried deep inside of us. It is our heritage, our history, our passion. And we are its greatest stewards. From the smallest blades of grass to the widest of nature's wonders, this is who we are. This is Hayden Outdoors Life on the Land. Hayden Outdoors Life on the Land is brought to you by Outdoor Bank. Get out there. Boa Safra. Harvest hidden tax deductions with Boa Safra Ag. Metabo HPT, make, move, go. Moultrie Trail Cameras, build a bigger picture with Moultrie. And by Hayden Outdoors Real Estate, the brand that sells the land.
Welcome to Hayden Outdoors Life on the Land. I'm your host, Alan Treadwell. This week, we travel to South Dakota to visit a beautiful farm with productive cropland, legendary deer and pheasant hunting, overlooking Lake Oahe. Then we head down to Wyoming to tour Echo Mountain Ranch, featuring lush meadows, high mountain peaks, and some of the best elk hunting Wyoming has to offer. And while we showcase a few select listings on each episode, Hayden Outdoors has hundreds of properties all across the country listed on HaydenOutdoors.com. Now join me as we travel to Kansas to spend some time with the Foote Cattle Company as they prepare to burn off some pasture ground.
50-50 or what?
Maybe 70% gas, 30 diesel. I feel like it carries a little better if you leave a little diesel in it.
Never seen these before. Is this one of your inventions?
Kinda, yeah. We've used burn sticks, but we just have I don't know if you can see it there. There's a slit cutting the threads.
Yeah, for the drip.
Yeah.
Burning off pastures and some overgrown sections of timber has always been fun to me. And since we're in the Flint Hills, one of Dax's favorite parts of the whole world, he tagged along with us.
We're gonna head south here and light that east fence
That's
line.
your east edge over there?
Yeah, that's our east edge. This pasture right here is 1,050.
It's beautiful.
We're gonna go set something on fire. Yeah. If it gets too high, drive in after us. Slide them up. Burning is brush control, weed control here in the Flint Hills.
We burn for the benefits of putting the nutrients back in the ground, but it's also good for weed and brush control. Once you burn it, it'll release the nutrients back into the ground from what we do burn.
Yeah. These ranchers really have their jobs down pat because these fires can get out of hand pretty quickly. And as the fire progresses across these pastures, it's obvious the Foote Cattle folks have done this a time or two. It really was impressive watching these guys. They all had their own jobs and they kept the fire under control perfectly. When you think about the Flint Hills of Kansas, it's tradition out here, right? I mean,
It is.
They've done it for years and years.
As long as I know.
I mean, you're coming out here burning. Your primary focus is for cattle, grass for cattle, right?
For sure, for sure. We've seen it side by side on burnt grass versus unburnt grass. The cattle will do better on the burnt grass.
They're going to put on more pounds on.
They will put on more pounds. The grass is better. That early growth is so tender. Those cattle crave that early growth.
If somebody somewhere else in the country wanted to think about maybe burning their pasture off or doing something like this, because it'll work anywhere,
It will.
what tips would you give them?
You've got to have a back burn. You've got to have a way to stop that fire. And any kind of a fire break, if you mow it, if you disc it, we use cattle trails a lot of times near a fence line, and then our water tanks. But you've got to burn responsibly. Yeah. It is important to have a plan, communicate with your crew, know what you're going to do, who's responsible of what. We check our back burns continuously.
Yeah.
Once we light a fire, I have somebody continuously checking that back burn to make sure we don't have something reignite.
Well, I appreciate you letting us come out here and teach us a little bit about the fire, because it's intriguing to me for sure. And I mean, not only does it benefit the cattle what you're doing, but by in turn, doing this for the cattle, you are helping the deer and the turkey and all the wildlife out here, the ecosystem.
It benefits the land.
It does, and that's the end of the day. I mean, this ground isn't ours. I mean, we may our name may be on the deed, but we're just stewards of it right now.
That is true.
Yep. Jeremy, thank you so much.
You bet. Thank you.
This segment of Hayden Outdoors Life on the Land is brought to you by Outdoor Bank. Get out there. This segment of Hayden Outdoors Life on the Land is brought to you by BOA Safra. Harvest hidden tax deductions with BOA Safra Ag.
Now let's head to Sully County, South Dakota, to a property listed by Hayden agents Jeff Garrett and Justin Durga, Lakeview Legacy Farm.
We're about 30 miles north of Pierre, South Dakota, central South Dakota, kind of the heart of pheasant and deer country. We have a very unique property out here that has a combination of productive crop ground and habitat that you don't see very often, laying right next to the Missouri River.
Yeah, and the Missouri River with 230 some miles of lakeshore, and on this piece, 750 so acres of tillable with finger draws that come up through it with incredible mule deer population. And this area is well known for its pheasant numbers, and the last few years our hatch numbers have been amazing, and we can see that here right now on this property.
Well, the crop ground alone, we've looked at the soils on this property, and it's actually some of the best soils in the whole county. It's got a crop index of over 90 on the crop acres. So you're going to have the income from the production, and you got the finger draws and ponds for the habitat, and not only that, the entire western border is bordered by a state habitat area.
Yep, it just adds so much more habitat to the property. The state has done a great job of the property that they manage right next door with trees and native grass, and so you got winter cover, nesting cover, food, and then you got 750 acres of food on yours. On the southern end, what a great view of that lake. It's over 200 degree view of the Missouri River.
Well, I think that's something that adds so much to this property, is on that south end, like you talked about, there's a little 20-acre parcel that overlooks the lake, and when you walk out there, you've got a 270-degree view of the lake if somebody wanted to put up a hunting cabin or just park your RV out there for the week, and just the views don't get any better of the lake from there.
And the lake is chock full of walleye. The walleye fishery on this lake is the best we've seen in quite some time as well. We have salmon, northern pike, bass, smallmouth bass. It's a destination that people want to come to have some fun on the lake. Great mule deer population here, and we've seen that this morning with over 50 some mule deer. And the genetics are great. You can tell on the mule deer they got great back forks, good front forks, and actually really good brow tines for the area. Neighboring property has shot 200-inch mule deer, and then on the property multiple over 170 mule deer on the property. And this area in Sully County is well known for its whitetail genetic as well. Yeah, so the property is located, close by to Pierre, South Dakota. Within a half hour, you're down to Pierre, where we have Menards, Walmart, steakhouses,
regional airport, for access.
Yep, fly right in, and you're at your property within half hour. Jeff, the property offers lots of opportunity, from the productive crop ground to the great pheasant and deer populations here, Lakeview.
You know, you've got income, a steady income source coming in from that crop ground. So that'll offset a lot of your costs of this property. So it's not just a hunting property. It's a productive piece of farm ground that you can keep in your family for a long time, and it's going to actually generate some income for you. The potential of this property is only limited to the new owner's vision. I think it's got a tremendous amount of opportunity.
This segment of Hayden Outdoors Life on the Land is brought to you by Metabo HPT. Make, move, go. This segment of Hayden Outdoors Life on the Land is brought to you by Moultrie Trail Cameras. Build the bigger picture with Moultrie.
Now let's head west to Converse County, Wyoming, to a stunning ranch listed by Hayden's own Bill Vosig, Echo Mountain Ranch.
Just to have that many animals around you, and for what, 2-3 hours, 10 days into the season, it's just unbelievable.
Yeah, I take it for granted a little bit just because I'm in them all the time, and you know, 30 days of archery season and I'm in elk 30 days, so.
Tremendous genetics, giant 6x6s. You know, you think that's a big bull until you look over the shoulder of that one and see the next one, so.
Yeah, the habitat here, you know, we let Mother Nature take care of it. And a lot of people don't like beavers, but up there where we don't have a lot of cattle, and you know, we have our beavers taking care of the ponds for us. And that one canyon, there's 17 ponds on it, and that just creates a lot of habitat for the elk, and good water, and water makes everything. And you know, this ranch is fortunate to have springs everywhere and 3 kind of big reservoirs and a good creek system that runs through it. In the springtime we have 3 creeks that run through here, and then they kind of dry up a little bit, and then we can irrigate almost all year round through one of our irrigations. So we have plenty of water up here, and it's just been good for our cattle operation. You can run 800 pairs up here, we only run 500. So I mean, theoretically we're just using about half the ranch for our cattle operation. It's a comfortable ranch. I mean, I can bring my entire family, 6 kids. You know, we got 11 bedrooms here between the 4 houses, so we can have a big group up here. And you know, when it gets a little bit cold, we ride in the riding arena. You know, we got a 300 by 100 foot riding arena. It's all heated, and water systems for sprinklers.
You know, the white picket fence down to, like you were saying, the concrete floor, heated buildings. Truly, Pat put a lot of work into it. So.
Yeah, just our tree systems, all water. You know, we have sprinkler systems. We have 3 good wells up here. Our wells are pretty deep. And as we continue, we've just been improving. And you know, I built a 6,000 foot shop, and for just equipment that's completely heated. And you know, we put in our own corral systems and our own branding systems, and so we've developed. On paper, it's about $7 million worth of improvements we've put on the property. It's, you know, 6,000 acres, then we have another 1,200 acres of state that's kind of landlocked in the back. And you know, I feel like I've walked every inch of this, but every time I go up there, there's a whole new part of the ranch, another canyon I didn't even know about that, you know, it kind of hides itself. And you know, it's pretty remarkable back up in there. Just the rock structure, and that's, you know, where the bears hang out. It's my favorite part of the ranch.
Truly diverse, so.
The new road they put in, it takes about 45 minutes to get to Casper. It's got everything, you know, United flies in there, and it's got great medical, and it's just a good town to raise kids in and be a part of the community. And Fort Collins is about 2.5 hours, so 3 hours is not that bad in a vehicle to buzz down there.
Family man, your 6 kids, all like to hunt. Tell me a few experiences you guys have had out here.
Well, we've had so many. I mean, that's the great thing about having a place like this, the memories you build. And you know, I have 5 grandkids too on top of it. So, I mean, the best times I have is when I have my little 6-year-old and my little 4-year-old that I'm teaching how to bugle and how to cow call, and they bring in their first elk. They're excited and they're cow calling, and they bring elk right to them within 20 yards, and then they're hooked. That's probably my favorite thing of the ranch. And then when I see my older kids that are 36 and they're shooting their first archery bull, and you know, just excited how, you know, it just makes them feel. And you know, that was passed on from my dad and his dad, and you know, I've passed it on to my kids, and they're passing it on to their kids. So it's just a tradition that our family has really strong.
The quality of the mature, true, the herd bulls. You want to tell me a little bit about, the characteristics, what's taken to get that quality of animal here? And everybody says, oh, I've got 380-inch bulls, but truly, this ranch has 380-inch plus bulls.
I've not hunted a lot of other places in the country other than Wyoming, so, I'm kind of limited on what other people have, but I do know what I have. And, people say they have 380 bulls, and they may have one. We have several. So, a 350 bull is everywhere. That's about our average. It's even our 5 points are ginormous.
Yeah.
Our data that we collect on our cattle, we can't even send them to a feedlot and gain the weight we're gaining on our food up here. So there's some really good mineral in our grass and just the fresh water supply, and that just builds genetics. And every time we have a wet spring, it just keeps growing those horns. And I can't really say this is the best place to hunt elk, but I would be surprised if there's a better place.
I agree. I'd put it up against anyone.
Yeah.
This segment of Hayden Outdoors Life on the Land is brought to you by Hayden Outdoors Real Estate, the brand that sells the land. Hayden Outdoors Life on the Land is brought to you by Outdoor Bank. Get out there. Boa Safra. Harvest hidden tax deductions with Boa Safra Ag. Metabo HPT. Make, move, go. Moultrie Trail Cameras. Build a bigger picture with Moultrie. And by Hayden Outdoors Real Estate, the brand that sells the land.
I traveled to the main Foote Cattle headquarters in Bucyrus, Kansas to meet up with Greg Foote to learn more about the Foote Cattle Company's history and their future.
Alan, you made it.
Hey Greg, how are you?
Doing good.
Good to see you again.
Doing good.
Well, thanks for having us out. We came out about 3 or 4 months ago and was with Jeremy on one of your places there south of Manhattan.
Yeah, at a ranch in Manhattan.
Yep. Did some burning there and kind of wanted to come here and talk to you a little bit about why that's important and a little bit about the family and stuff. Just hear a little of your history.
Well, you guys always spend a lot of times, it seems like, in Colorado or the mountains or in the valleys, and a lot of times in this deer hunting country. And a lot of times the land is supposed to be used for ranching and growing cattle. A lot of times I give Dax trouble about that. Sometimes, you cowboys, is what he's always saying. And the grasslands is a big deal for our supply chain for our cattle, whether you're raising calves or growing yearlings, and taking care of the land is a big deal for us. We do a lot of burning of our pastures, and that makes it to where we don't have a lot of invasive trees, or we're always worried about Sericea lespedeza or thistles or different weeds that are going to happen. It's just about keeping our grass good, and then our cattle gain better, and it just keeps our places cleaner. That way we don't have to use herbicides or spray. It's just a great way of land management for us.
One thing I think so cool about you guys is, it's a family business, right? It's you and your brothers and everything,
and good people too. We have good employees like Jeremy you spent time with. He's been with us for a long time, and it takes a great team, and everybody's really close, and all the ranchers we do business with. You see that map over here too, Alan? This is just different ranches we do business with across the country. And there's beautiful grasslands like the Flint Hills all across the country. Just kind of starts south and moves our way north as the seasons move on. And different parts of the country have spring calvers. Some parts of the country are diverse spring and fall calvers.
Do you do any sort of cow-calf operation here, or?
No, we've dabbled a little bit. We're mainly stocker. Like over in this part of the world is where we buy calves, turn them into yearlings, send them out to the feedlots.
Gotcha. Greg's dad, Bob Foote, was a legendary cattleman, and he's been nominated posthumously for the Cattle Feeders Hall of Fame. He was a true rancher, and you can tell he left a huge impact on the family legacy. Bob, correct me if I'm wrong.
This is Dad right here, over here on this picture.
Right here on the wall?
Oh yeah, that's in his intense mode right there.
He must have been buying cattle in that photo.
Oh yeah, he was.
What is this?
Well, Alan, I'll tell you, this is kind of Dad's dedication wall. He was fierce in everything he did. He was a go-getter and a lot of fun. He had a lot of passion, big-hearted man. But this is a really cool deal. They flew this at the U.S. Capitol the day after Dad passed away. And this is a speech that Tracy Mann, one of our representatives here in the state of Kansas, delivered that speech on the floor of the House of Representatives the day after, and we're really proud of that, and it was really nice he said what he did.
Got goosebumps reading that, yeah.
That's just a picture of me and my brothers and Dad. That was at Dad's, I believe, 75th birthday.
You know, I mean, obviously your dad, patriarch of this, and then you boys take and run here. Like what's the next generation look like?
That's what's cool about what we do is you get to raise your family in it. It's a little bit different than when we grew up. You know, the tractor's a lot nicer, equipment's a lot nicer. You know, just instilling that work ethic's what we got to get done.
The conservation and practices that you guys employ, like, I mean, you love the land, right?
Yeah, when there's nothing better than buying a farm and fixing it up to where you're really proud of it. Taking the invasive trees out, making sure you're getting all the grassland in, getting rid of all the weeds.
You know, when you do take care of a place and you make it good for one animal, you're affecting the entire ecosystem, right? I mean, you know, what's good for this is going to be good for deer, good for turkey, going to be good for quail, right? So I mean, it helps it all.
And now remember, I'm not a hunter, but I got a lot of friends that if they want to go hunt, they can hunt. But I'm always outdoors with the cows or doing stuff. But you gotta enjoy hunters and their love for the outdoors and their passion for it.
Greg, thank you for your time today.
You bet.
I appreciate it.
All right, go get them. Yep.
It was an absolute pleasure for me to see how the Foote Cattle Company is continuing Bob's legacy. They truly are one of the biggest beef producing companies in the country. And after spending some time with Greg, Jeremy, and some of the other family members, along with longtime employees, it's no surprise why. The Foote Cattle Company is a great example of people who love living life on the land. And we'd love to hear from you. So if you have a story you'd like for us to tell, let us know, because it's genuine folks all across this country buying up some ground and living life on the land.